found out some things I needed just to learn from me. See, there done been some change, and I know it's not what you expected to see. I made some choices about my life, those always didn't feel right. Escape the noises of my strife, I must admit it's pretty nice. I can't imagine the way I'd say, what is the girl that would take that from me? What is the girl that would say that I'm a queen? What is the girl that'll admit that I ain't cheating for the rope, but don't go up the road to her and me? Heavy on the energy, I'm claiming victory, my elevation is the key. It's time to see, I'm digging inside to reveal my truth. Got rid of my pride, it only scarred my youth. Got into my vibe, I think I found my groove. I ain't got nothing to lose, not even nothing to prove. I'm only trying to move with grace. Steady pace, I'm trying to win this race. Progression is a must, can't get complacent. Said I won't be out here chasing pavements. Only plan for self is elevation. I think it's time I live my life accordingly. I think it's time I realign, be free. Feel the things I need to feel. Level up, have faith, and always keep it real. Only move with energy that fuels my will. It's like a hell of a deal. Unattached, unwelcome feel. I got a journey off the gurney to persevere. At least that's what I hear. Investing in my passion, my time is here. No turning back, let me be clear. I've been protecting my peace and it's been working for me. My prayers led me to be instilled. I think I unlocked the key to the creator in me. I love it here, it's really real. The blessings in my mirror are most definitely nearer than they seem to appear. Yeah, I gotta focus on this road. It's the obedience for him, that's what I'm told. Just trying to find a God in me. Growing glow is all I see. Steady on this energy. It's best I speak the truth and she. Since blue hit that epiphany, it's clear to me. Now I can see the one is me. I'm stepping in my destiny. I said that with my chest and feet, it's as you see. I'm unapologetically protecting peace and loving me. Cause it's a vibe I see. You up the energy, heavy on the energy. Found out some things I needed just to learn from me. See, there done been some change, and I know it's not what you expected to see. I made some choices about my life, those always didn't feel right. Escape the noises of my strife, I must admit it's pretty nice. I can't imagine the way I'd say, what is the girl that would take that from me? What is the girl that would say that I'm a queen? What is the girl that'll admit that I ain't cheating for the rope, but don't go up the road to her and me? Heavy on the energy, I'm claiming victory, my elevation is the key. It's time to see, I'm digging inside to reveal my truth. Got rid of my pride, it was about you. Got into my vibe, I think I found my groove. I ain't got nothing to lose, not even nothing to prove. I'm only trying to move with grace. Steady pace, I'm trying to win this race. Progression is a must, can't get complacent. Said I won't be out here chasing pavements. Only plan for self is elevation. I think it's time I live my life accordingly. I think it's time I realign, be free. Feel the things I need to feel. Level up, have faith, and always keep it real. Only Well, hello,
Can,
ma'am.
can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you when I was just listening. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, this isn't how I wanted it to go, but it's okay. The show goes on. So if you are joining in, can you hear us? Because I think what may have happened is when I played the song, because of copyright, it may have muted me.
Oh, do you want to go out and come back in?
Icy said he can hear me. So what's up, Crystal? What's up, Icy? All right, it sounds like we're in business. The people can hear me. I just needed the quick spot, just what had to happen, because tonight is all about Blue. So apparently you couldn't hear me until Blue came on. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Marissa, aka Madi G. The credit plug, that's what y'all know me for, most of you. You know me for a few different things. Hey Crystal, what's up? But one thing you guys don't know about me is I'm a massive music head. I absolutely love music. Walk around singing anything and everything I can. Even if it's not music, I'm still singing it. So music has always been a huge passion for me. So when I met this beautiful young lady who y'all see just below me, I think you see her below me. I mean, the music was just like the icing on the cake for me in comparison to just who this woman is. So I want to dive in. I want to properly introduce you. Again, sound not working, didn't go the way I wanted to, but that's okay. We're going to get this moving right along because guess what? Not today. Okay? We're going to keep this moving. We're going to keep it rocking. So I want to give you your proper dues. And I want to introduce you so the people get to know you. So Blue Notes. You can see her Blue. What's up? What's up? Thank you for joining.
Hey, real quick before I have you, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I just don't want to mess up what you have going here, sis, because this is important to me. Is everything okay on my end? Is my signal okay? Lighting okay? Everything okay?
You're good. We can see your beautiful face.
All right. I didn't want to have you wasting any time.
No, there's a little pixelation, but we can see you, and that's what matters. We can see you, we can hear you, so we're good. So again, to those joining us and jumping on. So again, I want to give Miss Blue Note her dues because tonight is all about her. Another reason why I'm wearing the blue, right? I gotta rock my sister. But so most of you may know Blue, most of you may not. So I want to introduce her. Blue Note is a singer, songwriter, orator, editor, poet, model, and an overall Renaissance woman. She's originally from North Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. House over here. Shout out 973-201. What's up? Stand up.
All of that.
You might start hearing some accents and a little hood out of
guys vibe with us, okay?
She's been a resident of Southwest Florida for over 20 years. She's been singing all of her life. 20 years young. We know, sis. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
She's been publicly speaking since October 13th of 2020. That's barely 14 months, guys. Like, and I always make the joke, she came out of nowhere. And it's true. And I believe wholeheartedly that she is firmly standing in her passion. But so she publicly started singing October of 2020. She released her first single December 2020, a song called Wait For Me. And then she wrote her first full song around 15 years ago. And she's been writing poetry for over 30 years. So if you guys are just joining again, my name is Madi G. I'm here with Blue Note. I need you guys to drop some flames in the chat. I need you to show us some hearts because we are about to get down and into it because I want you guys to really get an understanding of who Blue, not only the artist is, but the person is. So I need y'all to drop some flames in them chats. I need to see some hearts going because we about to rock this. Blue Note, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good, sis. You know, I'm sitting here trying not to get emotional while you're talking. I'm
Oh,
like,
girl,
she's not gonna start this out
I
trying to
got
make. I'm good. I'm good. I had some technical difficulties getting set up, but y'all know, Blue, it's always a million things going on for me at once. A multitasker, if nothing else, just like you. I know you know.
yeah. Well,
But I'm blessed. This is actually a very beautiful, beautiful moment, and I'm just honored that you invited me to have this conversation. And I'm definitely honored to have it with you, my sister. So thank you, man.
and I'm putting it out there now. This is the first of many. You might see my face in blue today. You might see another artist. You might see me in blue hosting more artists. Who knows?
Talk
Okay,
that.
so we just gonna speak it into existence. 2022 is the year for all things.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to
Manifestation.
jump right into it. So we talked a little bit about, who you are, your background. In 2021, I mean, just in 12 months to be able to accomplish from the list that I saw 48. I literally counted every single one. And I know that wasn't the full list because I don't think I saw that you won Southwest Florida Open Mic Night a couple weeks ago.
No,
I don't think I saw that on that
no,
list.
I wasn't
So
on.
counted 48 accomplishments in her not only personal but professional career in the last 12 months, guys. That's 12 months. There's so many more things that we're missing. So I'm just super duper excited to jump into this with you. I know that our conversation tonight is going to be raw, is going to be authentic. I know that we are going to unapologetically be ourselves. And I'm super excited for just a dope, raw conversation. But I want to talk to you about, before we get into the deep dive of energy. So I know that you said you've been singing all your life. When did it click?
Click in terms of me having an awareness or knowing I could sing, like that it was something kind of a
That it
little
was
more special.
hard to do, right?
Yeah. If I'm honest, I was a little girl, like 5, 6, like a little girl. Like I've been singing forever. Um, in terms of me thinking like, what am I going to be when I grow up? That's what I wanted to be. If anything, maybe a teacher, but I've always wanted to be, into my writing, into singing, into music. I've played instruments as well. But singing in terms of organic talent, that was my first latch, like thing that I knew for sure. Like no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing, I can sing. I can sing. And I grew up, I'm a 70s baby raised in the 80s. So, we had the parents that, they sit and chill on the weekend and they're drinking their, stuff and they're chilling and doing all that. And, they get drunk and before you know it, they're calling the kids out to come and perform for everybody. And, it was always, come on in here and sing, get her to come in here and sing, get her to come in here to sing. Me and a few of my cousins and friends that were all kind of known for having good voices. But it was something that not only was encouraged in my life, it was nurtured. I didn't have a family, whether it was from my parents, aunties, uncles, grandparents. I never had anybody that really wanted to shut me up. So I think in hindsight, that helped a lot because it was never a matter of like, there you go singing again. If anything, it was like, come on in here and sing. It was always a thing that was celebrated about me. So, I mean, literally all my life, I'm a Jersey girl. I grew up with everybody growing up with Whitney Houston. But personally, when I was a little girl growing up in that era, it was like she was accessible to me, literally and figuratively. You know what I mean? So I just mimicked all of her stuff growing up. I believe the children of our future. That was just like my favorite song as a little girl because I knew I could sing and I could hit the notes. And let's be clear, age and life has definitely drastically affected my voice. I've always been an alto. I've always had a deeper voice, but the notes you can hit decrease as time goes by if you're not nurturing it right.
Right.
So when I was a little girl, I was a full-on belter. Like I could sing every note, it was like fun to me to practice how they fluctuated and how can they go from this high and get down this low, but then go back. Like it was like a mental, I don't know, it was just a fun thing for me to try to mimic doing that and seeing how I can use my own voice as an instrument before I even was familiar with instruments. So that's been forever. I've never known anything other than singing. At most, it's been singing in front of people. That's been the issue.
And I think the beautiful thing about that is because, you know, there's the saying that when words fail, music speaks. There's another one that you connect through music. So I think to be able, you as a person, period, have just like the spirit and energy about you that people are just drawn to you. They feel comfortable around you. They feel safe and nurtured around you. But I think when people listen to your music, when you take the stage and they can listen to you perform, you really get people, and this is truly a gift because this doesn't happen with every performer. You literally are able to get people to stop in their tracks and to focus and to listen and to really resonate with what you're saying, whether it's a cover song or it's an original, because there's just something about the depthness of your voice and the way that you're able to project that people are just able to connect with you and the music. And I think that it's so beautiful to be able to sit in a room and watch that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. And I'm speaking not only from me, but from conversations that I've had with other people, from things that I see people post. So if you don't know Blue, you're definitely going to get to know her tonight. You're going to get to know more about her music. So I want to jump right into it because I know you have an event to go to tonight too. So I'm mindful of
Yes,
ma'am. We got till what, 7:30? A little bit before?
A little closer to 8:30.
Oh, okay.
I'm pushing it if I go that far. Pushing it, but I'll push.
We're going to be done by 7:30.
You know me. I'm going to handle my handle. I'm going to do what I got to do.
All right. So I want to jump right into it. So I want to start off by saying, if you weren't here when I first started the live, you missed the music. So if you haven't heard the song, I encourage you immensely. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music, I need you to go and I need you to look up Blue Note, BLOU Note, and I need you to listen to this track. And we're going to do a little deep dive. So on my lunch break, I took some handwritten notes and
Love it.
Dissected this song. And just to give you guys a little bit of backstory, the thought for this conversation really came up not only because I love Blue as a person, because she is legit my sis, but I own my own business. And the one thing that I've learned is, especially in business, there's a lot of personal development and self-development that needs to happen. And I was going through literally this 3-day boot camp training that I can't tell you how many times it had me crying, it had me yelling, it had me cursing. I was on like a roller coaster of emotions, but it just took something in me to another level. And I woke up the next morning, and when I tell you like 3-day boot camp, like I was on this training from like 12 o'clock in the afternoon to like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, depending on the day. Like it was legit a boot camp of thousands of people tuned in, tons of speakers from tons of professions, but people pouring into you based off of their experiences and their knowledge. So after almost what felt like 30 hours of a training, I don't really know how long it was, but it was somewhere close to that. The next morning, and there was one particular line from this song, and I hadn't heard this song in a few days, but there was one particular line from this song that I literally, like the moment I woke up, it was just on repeat. Like just these few little words, repeat, playing back in my head and playing back in my head. And I posted up a story, you know, promoting that I had done this training, and I woke up but then I played the song and I made sure that that snippet that was in my head just kept, it was like a B-roll. It just kept going and going and going. And I was like, God, this is so freaking powerful. And the way that this specific, just a line, I mean, the song in itself is on another level, but just that specific line of words, the way that it just blended everything from the weekend, I was like, more people need to hear about this. I need more people to hear what is coming out of Blue's mouth, because I feel like 2022 is going to be such a shift for so many people. And I feel like this is like just perfect. Like I don't even know what other words I can put it into. I'm gonna get into the words a little later, specifically of what that was just on repeat and on repeat, right? But so I want to dive into what was initially the inspiration for you behind this song.
All right. Well, first, let me make sure to say, because obviously the lines I wrote, but I co-produced the song. So I want to make sure that, you know me, I got to show respect and pay homage. Ironically, and go to show you how, you know, things are working even when you don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is just another one of the many things on my list of things that have happened in my life that continue to prove to me, you know, not only the power of God and faith, but just, you know, really being able to remember that just because you don't see things in front of you doesn't mean it's not up ahead for you, or that page isn't already written in your book. So I co-produced the song with Drew Howard, and Drew Howard of Star Sound Studio out of Cape Coral. And then ultimately JH, who is a rapper and producer, also got on there and helped with the production. He's also a part of Cold Summer Records, a group. So shout out to them, JH and Drew Howard. So initially, Drew and I had pre-scheduled studio time. I'd actually gone in with the intention that day to record another song. I'd already written the song. I'd had the beat. But for some reason, I don't know why, I seem to write songs and keys higher than my actual voice. So I don't know what it was, but and not that I can't hit it, but if it's the wrong day, it's not happening. Like it's, you know, or timing or what have you. And ironically, my spirit was just Aki that day. But I had already arranged my studio time. Everything was paid for, you know, da 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 da. So I go in and I'm just in the mood. And Drew, going back a bit, also is who I recorded my first two singles with, Wait for Me and Her. So we had already built a relationship in that way. Obviously, my first two babies came from he and I working together. So I went in and it was just he and I that day. And I'm like, I'm trying this. And I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm literally just in here paying to, you know, talk junk in the booth and be mad at myself because my energy is not right. Not even energy, this song that you all know now, no clue of it, no wording of it, no plans for it, nothing at this point.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me when you were in the studio to record another track, the existence of energy was non-existent?
Non-existent.
Okay.
Non-existent.
Right.
So he's like, come out the booth, because we've, you know, he's gotten, you know, you know, those of you who know me know, you know, give her a minute, let her just kind of come. So he's like, come out. So we're just kind of, you know, sitting there shooting the breeze a bit. And he's like, you know, well, do you want to maybe change the key of the song that I'd intended to write or record? So I'm like, it's not vibing different. Like once I hear something a certain way, not that I'm not able to flux, but once I hear it, I'm, you know. So I was like, it's not working in another key, whatever. So he's like, all right. So initially he's trying to kind of redo it, the actual beat that I had. And then he's like, you know what? Credit to him. He pulls out his guitar and he's like trying to kind of redo the beat a bit. You know what I mean? So he's like, I tell you what. So he starts playing this chord and it's that doo, 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 that you hear in the background of Energy. It's kind of a little bit changed now because it's not only acoustic, but it's in there. And you hear that bass line that he's doing. That's him. That's Drew. That's actually something, the bass line, from what I understand, is something he had written himself years ago. So again, tell you how things connect. So he's like, I'm going to put this on loop, take it home, think about it, see what you come up with. So I'm like, okay. So I go home and I'm like, I'm not changing that song. Like that was already in my head. It's just not happening. But now I'm listening to this chord, and at that point, it was just the acoustic version of Energy, the original version that I sang it actually at Luna Moon's Divine Essence Festival a couple of months back. That's when everyone first heard the first part of Energy, because I still, even at that point, hadn't written the second half of it, which is funny how that happened. But I'm listening to it at home, and what started it, my writing process usually starts with, you know, the line that I hear, and for whatever reason, whatever first line I hear, I just build off of that. And I kept hearing, since you went away, but I was hearing Janet Jackson, if you go back, Let's Wait a While. That's how that song started back in the day. Since you went away. And I kept hearing it over and over. So I'm like, why am I hearing this? Like, it doesn't go with anything I'm thinking, but it's what I kept hearing. So at that point, I'm like, okay, you know what? My energy was off. Like, I'm hard on myself. I went to the studio. I literally just wasted time. I have a track that ironically still has not been recorded. Still have that track ready to record, just haven't recorded. But it was Energy's time, apparently. So I start hearing that, and I'm like, okay, fine. Apparently, this is the line that it's going to be. I can't make it the exact same line as Janet Jackson, but I'm sticking with this, and I'm inspired by her. And then I start, and that's how my artistic brain works. I start pulling things like that. It's like, okay, well, if Janet Jackson is my kind of first inspiration, my energy was off. And for some reason, every time, like, I kept repeating that line in my head, my freaking energy was off. Like, this is crazy. So I'm like, energy, like some, you know. So that's when I switched the first line to Since You Went Away, which is the same line actually as her. But then I reorganized it into my mind to think about myself ultimately. Because I've been through so many changes over the past couple of years. And then this past year alone, it's like, it's almost like I went away, but at the same time, it's still me. I've been here this whole time. So it was like a reverse way of talking to myself, and at the same time, talking to anybody else. Since you went away, I kind of found out some things I needed just to learn for me. And I started from there, and you know, I'll leave you. I know you know, gonna build up, but from there it was like, okay, energy is what I want this to be. The acoustic just gave me, it was like my energy was off, but this gives me a certain energy. That's how my brain kept hearing it. My energy was off when I went to record, but this beat, this chord that he played is giving me a certain energy. And that's ultimately how I decided, not only is it that's what it's going to be called, but that was going to be the focus of the song.
Whew, love
Yeah.
it.
Her brain is all over the place.
That's
Brain is like,
because
yeah.
it all blends together so perfectly. And I mean, we've got, you know, comments in the chat coming in outside of people saying, hey, and, you know, shout out to the team that you worked with to produce this. But
Yeah.
I mean, So Said Red, another one of my sis, I listened to it, great lyrics, vibration,
Thank you.
like it's just, and you kind of led into perfectly what my next segue was going to be. So I made some choices about my life that didn't always feel right. So that goes right in tune with what you just said. And Gone is the Girl. So I feel like even in the beginning, you really start to build on that story of like a self-reflection journey, pretty
Yep.
much. My perspective.
That's exactly what it is. That's spot on.
And then when you start talking about being heavy on the energy, getting rid of my pride, like I legit wrote notes, guys. So I know the song, I can sing it, but when I'm singing, like I got to look at the notes.
I love this.
But I think one of the things I wanted to touch on as well was within it, and I have a ton of different lines that I like wrote down because I felt like they made such a great point to be able to dive deeper into deeper conversation. Mm-hmm. But like, got rid of my pride, moving with grace, winning a race. Like, I feel like pride in the perception of, so again, I'm here thinking about a self-reflection, And then I'm immediately taken to being told about my pride. And I'm just like, damn, like, sis really going in on me, like,
Yeah.
really going
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And I think that that just sets the tone of the expectance of what you can expect from this track. Shout out to Keita. She says she loves you,
That's
sis.
my sis. That's my sis from P-Town, matter of fact. That's Patterson. That's Jersey in the
Pizza
house.
Hey. But then, I mean, you go on to continue to say in this song, you know, live my life accordingly. And again, I feel like getting rid of your pride, moving with grace, running a race, living your life accordingly. And then you jump into feel the things that I need to feel. And again, I literally feel like I'm being taken on this journey of reflection. Gone is a girl, so thinking to the person that I once was, to the person that I am now, regardless if you're a guy or a girl, we
Mm-hmm.
through some shit in life, right? Because
Yeah.
we the book on this
Yes.
conversation. We don't all been through some shit in life.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, gone is the girl because of the shit that I've been through. I'm not really that same person at the core of me that I once was, right? And then we talk about having to feel the things that I need to feel, because ultimately, how else can you face what you've been through if you're not facing the actual emotions? And then you go into protecting my peace, investing in my passion, my time is here, and I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm like, okay, I need to stop, I need to breathe. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
she talks about epiphanies and unapologetically protecting and loving herself. And I'm like, like,
All of that.
it really just leaves me speechless sometimes. Like when
Yeah.
and it's crazy that gotta patience, gotta run. Oh, okay. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Hey to your patient. You got the best nurse patient.
Play energy for your patient is a beautiful.
There you go. Play. But it's like, it's literally a storyline, and you're just building and you're building and you're building. But I want to talk about that the one statement that I had on repeat and on repeat and on repeat. And it was about living your life accordingly. So the line is live my life accordingly, and legit played on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. But when it comes to reflecting on the things that you've been through that have made you the person that you are today, and understanding that you have to put your pride aside, like how did that whole piece, like, was that the intention behind energy, or did it kind of just like grow and manifest itself in its own little way as you thought about what you wanted this song to be?
I mean, it definitely grew. I definitely got the first portion written mainly kind of all together. Once I got that first line I was talking about, I kind of wrote the first portion before I get to that part where I said, no turning back, let me be clear. And then it's kind of like, even in that, the way the music is formatted, it kind of like gives you where it's like a second kind of wind, and it's like coming back at it. But the mindset was, like it says when I start, since you went away, I found out some things I needed just to learn from me. Once I wrote that line, I think I found out some things I needed just to learn from me. It was like everything after that, I felt like I have, because I'm a holistic thinker. You know what I mean? I'm a right is right, wrong is wrong type of person. I'm not a, don't get me wrong, family first always, obviously. But I'm not a, thank you, sis. Yvette, thank you so much for checking in, sis. I love you so much. I'm not the type of person that, because it's you, it's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Sis, you sis, but you're wrong. Like, I'm not about to act like you're not wrong. So when I look at myself, and that's why I come so kind of unapologetic, you know what I mean? Because I'm unapologetic with me first. I'm okay with being unapologetic with everybody else, because I guarantee you I'm starting with me first. I'm not going to expect a single thing out of you that I'm not expecting out of myself. That's not to say that I never fall short That's never, that's not to say, as much as I can't stand people being rude, that I've never been rude and had to kind of think about it and be like, that was rude. But I'm constantly checking myself. So when I write this song and I'm thinking, okay, for one, I don't like saying things just to say things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play around, I'll laugh and joke and kiki and all of that. But I don't think there's anybody that's gotten to know me that hasn't figured out that as much as I can laugh and play and kiki, I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I can always come back to center if I need to. I felt like if I was going to put out a song called Energy, I believe in the power of words. I have a responsibility. That song is not just about me. It's about me. But if Wait For Me taught me anything, it's for so many people. You know what I'm saying? Or it's possibly, because at that point I hadn't written all of the words yet, it's possibly going to speak for so many people. So when I'm saying these things, because not only as Blue Note, not since, I've become a public figure that, some people look up to and some people actually are inspired by, and some people are actually waking up every day checking their Instagram or their Facebook to see what Blue Note had to say. If that's the case, now, let's be clear. I'm not responsible for everybody's decisions, but aren't I? If it's coming from me, aren't I responsible for making sure that maybe when I said such and such, or maybe when I acted the way I was acting, or maybe when I was putting a little bit too much bass in my voice, or maybe whatever the case may be, don't I still have some level of responsibility to how that's going to affect somebody else? At least, if I'm in the dark room by myself, who cares? Nobody sees it. But when I know this might be where somebody's sitting after 3 days of training and minding their business within the comfort of their own home, and all of a sudden my words are ringing through their ears, my words are ringing through their spirit, I got a responsibility. So, okay, if we're going to talk about energy, well, part of me, I love those songs, whereas I'm, for lack of a better term, I'm talking my shit. I like it feels good sometimes. It feels good to just get that off your chest and keep it moving, and know that you at least stood up for yourself, even if it's mentally. But I got to be able to make sure now, if I'm talking about the energy that I'm refusing to accept from out there, I got to also make sure I'm addressing the energy that I'm refusing to dish out. I got to also talk about the energy that I've had to kind of grow and mature and think through and understand that some of my decisions along the way, or some of the times that I was so busy in my feelings and swearing up and down that this person meant me this, or this meant that, or whatever the case may be, experience, as a wise man says all the time, experience is the best teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You live and you learn. I've been through some stuff. Some of y'all have never imagined Blue Note been through. I've been through some stuff that doesn't even touch what you assumed I've been. Like, where did you think? But it's always been real for me. That's why I say it's always going to be real. It's going to be raw, but it's going to be rooted in love. Energy for me is responsibility. That song holds so much weight, and to have now, looking up ahead, to have, it's not that you're the first person that said it, but to have someone actually say to me, I want to dissect this. That says to me that I was on the right track, for one. I'm not using energy to prove to myself that I got any good sense or anything like that. I've known I've had good sense. But to know, just like I say in the song, it's the obedience for him. That's what I'm told. So when I get to that line and I'm going, wait a minute now, because all of these things are flowing into you. I did not go into that studio. The song wasn't even it was a love song. It was a little, like, it had nothing to do with anything of this. And then all of a sudden I'm here just hearing this chord over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. And then if I take it back and strip it back down and say, okay, well, the first line reminds me of Janet Jackson. Well, Janet Jackson reminds me of when I was a little girl and me and my sisters used to play and do little play concerts, and we put the hula hoop in the middle of the floor and stand in the middle of the hula hoop, and whoever's singing, that's the person who's on stage right now. And all our Let's Wait a While concerts and all the different things that little girl, that Melinda, that Lou, that's my original nickname. That little girl that had the level of sense that she had then and had the level of sight that she had then, that was able to see things in a kind of more advanced way than a lot of other kids for some reason. If I reach back to her, well, that little girl wanted to be able to use her voice for good. That little girl wanted to be able to get people to understand, listen, just do right. Just try to do this. Just try to do that. So when I get to this point where I actually have the mindset and the pen to be able to put to pad that I can actually discuss this all important topic for me, oh no, we're going in. We're going in, because really what it comes down to is I'm stripping myself down every time that song plays. Do you know what it's like for me to listen to Energy? Because I know the stories behind what I've been through. I don't know the stories behind what everybody else been through, but I know enough to know if I done been through what I've been through, and I still look like I look some days, to where nobody could even have a clue that I just cried my entire face off, or that I just literally was trying to figure out how I'm gonna rob Melinda to pay Blue Note, or rob Blue Note to pay Melinda, or whatever the case may be. If I can be going through all of those things, I can't imagine what everyone else might be going through. I just know they're going through. You know what I'm saying? So I need, when someone comes to my song, white, black, male, female, poor, rich, I need everybody to be able to come to a central thought. That's how I move. That's how I work. And I was about to say I pray Energy does that. But look at God working. I guess Energy is doing that. So I feel like I took the long way to come back to that. But
Okay,
that's how my brain works. That's how my brain works.
It's about organic and authentic conversation. Before I touch on a few different things that you said, somebody asked me to pin the topic at the top because they jumped on late. Sis, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to do that. So if you are joining us, my name is Marissa, aka Madi G. I'm the Credit Club. I am here with my girl, my sis, Blue Note, and we are dissecting her track called Energy. And the reason that this live is happening today is because of how the song hit me in a specific moment in my life when I was on a journey, if you will, because I've been, a journey for a while, but there was a specific moment during that journey where a piece of this song just kept replaying in my head. So the conversation tonight is to dissect her track, Miss Addiction, Hey. The point of this conversation is to do a little bit of a deep dive into her track called Energy. If you haven't listened to it, I implore you, encourage you, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you get your music from, to listen to this track, because it's going to hit you in a way that you may not expect it to hit you, just based off of the title in itself. Like, have some tissues with you. I'm gonna just be real. When you're listening to this song, depending on the emotion and the headspace that you're in, because it's really it forces you in such a gentle way to really look at yourself and to really understand that while Blue is singing this song, whether it was for her or somebody else, it all comes back tenfold, and it's like looking in a mirror. Because again, at the end of the day, we done all been through some stuff. At the end of the day, we have emotions, we have traumas, we have triggers, and we have things that have caused us to be the people that we are today, whether it's in a good way or a negative way, because we know that experiences impact our reactions. So again, this conversation is just doing a little deep dive. We're at like our 10-minute mark. Before, I feel like when you were saying some of the stuff that you were saying earlier, and you were talking about just being the person that you are, and you're not going to expect from somebody else what you don't expect for yourself. And that's not to say that you don't have shortcomings, but there's a standard. And I feel like that's what a lot of people can appreciate and respect about you, is that there is a standard. And they know that when I'm around Blue, Melinda, whatever we want to call you, right? Whatever you might be presenting in that moment, I can expect that if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm doing something that's not right, or I'm doing something just to be part of the cool kids or whatever, Blue ain't having it, regardless of the rounds. If you're wrong,
it's me trying to keep a straight face while you're saying it, because my brain's like, no, I'm not.
Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. And no matter how she tells you, even if she's telling you off, it's gonna be in such a loving and gentle way. It's just crazy, some of the abilities that you have. But there is,
I gotta thank my mama for that. God bless her. I gotta thank my
may she rest in peace. I know she is smiling down. Before we get into the next piece of what I want to touch on before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to make sure that you mention on tonight's call or tonight's live, even if it's where people can find you for the rest of 2021? But I do have something a little special that I just kind of wanted to close us out with.
Okay. Thank you. I got nothing else. Thank you guys. All of you, every single one of you. I've changed my life drastically, over the past year, and to have so many people allow themselves to receive me. And I mean all of me, not just the singer, the writer, the auntie, the sis, the, daughter figure for some, just that random online friend that you just like, the random stuff she posts some days, and it just gives you a chuckle and you keep it moving. Whatever the case may be, ultimately for me, I stand in appreciation right now. I am living in gratitude. I am in a trajectory shift. I'm watching my voice too, because I got to sing in a little while. I got to sing for some powerful, I'm trying to gain some money back in there, but I am in a trajectory shift right now. I don't know why I can't get that word out right. And I know that. I'm aware of that. I know that I am in a destiny season. I'm convinced of it. I'm not, again, just coming to the awareness of my talents. I've been aware of those. But this fire that I have in me right now is something that I can't even dampen. Like, even the days where, because I'm human just like the rest of us, there are days where I'm honestly like, what the heck are you doing? Go to bed. Like, you're tired, you're old, you're this, you're that. What, I can't. I'm in a serious go mode right now. And Blue Note is a movement. It's not just about me singing or writing. I feel like this is much bigger than what we even know right now. And I'm excited to be at the start of this journey and have so many people that are backing me and praying for me and pushing me, and just hoping for the best for me. I get so many beautiful messages privately, publicly, and I'm not a big-headed person. I have a big head, but I'm not a big-headed person. So I don't think anyone really truly understands when I say I am humbly grateful. I am humbly grateful. I am still very much trying to even get used to this Blue Note in terms of, oh, that's Blue Note. I stand in love always. It's always going to be real. It's always going to be raw. But it's always going to be rooted in love. So, you remain respectful with me. And I remain respectful with me. Other than that,
you don't want to see the Jersey Blue come out. That's all we gotta say.
That's all. But no, honestly, I'm just in a season of gratitude right now. I have a lot more coming. Music, books, multiple things coming. But Thank you. I can't say anything better than that right now. Thank you. And as I have said since I've released Energy, if you want to know who Blue Note is, Energy is the song that will pretty much tell you without ever having to hear a single word outside of that song come out of my mouth, who I am and what I stand for. So I appreciate this.
And I think it's like you said, this is the beginning. I have always said it, and I will continue to say it. Blue Note came out of nowhere, and she literally just like rocked the game. Like 1 minute, it's like, oh, you know Blue Note, and it's like who? And then you have no choice but to know who Blue Note is, and I think that just speaks volumes to the level of you actually standing and sitting in your truth and doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I know I can say for me and on behalf of the people who are watching and the people that didn't get to jump on live, thank you for doing what you do, because it truly does make a difference. And there's been times where I have all of your tracks hearted. They're through my regular rotation on Spotify, and it's just like in an instant when I need it most and I don't realize it, one of Blue Note's tracks come on and I hear her voice and I'm instantly like, okay. But so before I close us out, I reached out to a few people and I asked for their honest reviews of Energy. Some people you know, some people you don't, because I wanted to make sure people were exposed to this track. But I also wanted you to have an understanding. You crying already? And guys, you know, when you look at Blue right now, what she's trying to hide, tears, are from a place of a depth of gratitude. And I know that that's where it comes from, because to be able to see yourself through the eyes of other people because of her music, like I can't even speak to the levels of how it makes her feel, because I'm not her. But we definitely gonna get some more tears out of you, and I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
I thought it was so important to do this. And again, I wanted to expose people to this track. So some people you don't know, some people you do. And I'm just gonna jump into it. So one of the reviews from Miss Siobhan Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina, aka my bestie. I told her, I was like, sis, I need you to listen to this track. I want your honest review opinion. She's from up top. She's from New York, so we can always expect honesty, right? So she's like, she's good. She sounds a little raspy, but the song is good. Love the music and the melody. The song is great with a powerful message. The voice shakes a little bit, but not enough to change the message and the music. Overall, she's definitely great. So that's the first review. The next review, and again, I told you, I'm reaching out to people, and some you know, some you don't, and now I gotta find the second one. So give me 1 second, because I have a strategic order of how I wanted to present these. So the next one actually is from a young lady who I recently, like within the last 7 days, connected with on Facebook. And she is also a singer, and I reviewed one of her songs for her, which is kind of where I got the idea from. So again, full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? I know you're going to try to join us tonight. But can you listen to the track and give me your honest review? She was like, I'm going to listen to it 3 times and I'm going to give you my review. I'm like, okay, bet. So this, this comes from Enrica. She is in Memphis. And it says, is your friend going through a spiritual awakening? I'm asking because the song resonates heavily with me and what I'm feeling. I'm currently undergoing a spiritual awakening that has literally transformed my life and still is. The song is a whole vibe. I love how the lyrics are real and the truth and a bit dark at the same point. But the beat is a lighter tone, because I can tell maybe she's coming out of a dark place to a place of light. Energy is everything anyway. So that's dope by itself, the name of the song. Vocally, I love her voice, especially her lower register with the vibrato. I overall give the song 10 out of 10, but whoever engineered, mixed, and mastered it could have maybe increased the volume of her vocals and decreased the volume of the beat, because at times it drowned out her voice and it was hard to clarify what she was actually saying on some parts.
I feel that. My voice was, and that's funny too, because that's very spot on. Because literally the day I recorded it, the final recording, my voice was like even lower than normal. And even Drew kept saying that day. He was like, "What is up with your voice today, man? Like you literally got the Batman thing going today." And I was like, I struggle with that a lot for people who've heard me live too, especially with different microphones that I'm not used to, because my voice is very, very rich. Like, and it just trying to balance it on the mic. So I very much get that review. I like that though. I love the spiritual awakening part.
Oh yeah, yep. We got some people chiming in. That's what I picked.
I see.
Great review.
Shouts out to my folks in these comments too. I see all of y'all. I'm just not stopping because y'all know I'm trying to get through this thing without being all extra emotional. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. Zakara, I love you. Thank you for everything.
My bestie talking about I should be a talk show host.
You should.
Thank you. We gonna work.
I mean, there is definite talk show host energy going in here.
Appreciate it. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie to you. From a young age, just like you were singing at a young age, I always told myself I need to have a microphone in hand. I just never really realized what avenue that needed to be a couple years ago. But we're gonna get into this next review before our final review.
Okay.
And this one comes from somebody who I think you call her Anisi Poo, Miss Kwana, right here.
I know that's what you were gonna say. As soon as you said that, I knew that's what you were talking about. That's my boop. I love her. I swear I do.
So she says, okay, so Blue Note sound energy was for me breathtaking. It was like waking up, to find a new purpose, almost like you can feel her energy from the sound as if she was pouring it into you.
Dude, that's my friend. Quana yells that out for everybody when she's showing love, so that had to be said.
Listen,
shouts out to my nephew. Shouts out to my nephew Santiago. That is one of my biggest little love bugs, little support. Like shouts out to my nephew. I don't care what I post. I don't care when I post it. My nephew is sharing it. He is liking it. He is loving it. He is commenting. Thank you so much. I love you. I had to shout him out.
Number one fan. What's up?
Emoji too. She's on here too. It says I am Moji on here. It's MOYE on here, but that's my girl too. That's a queen. Y'all got to make sure to follow her. She is such a positive inspiration. I had to plug her real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, go.
That's okay. That's okay. And we're gonna jump into this final one as soon as I can find it. And before I read this one, because this is going to be the outro, because I really want to end it on these words, right?
Okay.
Again, if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Madi G. Go ahead and hit that follow button, RZA0807. If you're not familiar with Blue, please follow her. I think at whatever part you've joined the conversation tonight, you've been able to see a piece of her authentic self. And I can't speak enough on the value you will get just by following her, let alone listening to her music. So definitely please support my sis. Queens supporting queens tonight. So before we wrap it up, I'm going to read this final review.
Okay, before you wrap it up, because you're ending on that note, I am not leaving this live without making sure to say and give a shout out. I don't know if she's still on here. Okay. For my girl Yvette Nicole Brown. My sis was in here. She actually stopped through to check in, and that is a very busy woman, and I am just blessed to have her check in with me on my interview. I love her so much, and I appreciate her support. She has been so selfless in showing support for me, somebody who's been through the ropes of this entertainment industry, and reaching back and making sure to keep encouraging me and things like that through this time. We've actually met through IG Live through the pandemic. So, life has a way of doing things, but my girl was in here. That is my sister from another mister, and I'm just blessed that she bothered to take the time. Not bothered, because that comes off wrong. That's not her. I'm glad she took the time to stop in with us tonight. So I just want to shout her out.
And she can watch the replay if she missed any of it.
No, she was in here. She was in here commenting and everything. My
No,
girl was.
but if she's not on right now,
yeah. Oh, I got you. Yes. Yeah, I had to.
If we're not able to watch this in its entirety, you can definitely go back and watch the replay. And please comment, give us your thoughts. And again,
I appreciate it.
You follow for quality content and just feel goods. Really, it's just all feel goods. So, all right, this final one comes from your nephew, another Fort Myers king, by the name of Chasen, aka Chase.
Oh my God! I was like, which nephew? That's what I was like, which?
I know you gotta.
You got a million nephews.
Into it. So Chase says energy. And before I jump into this, guys, like I need you to really if you're multitasking, unless you're driving, I need you to stop what you're doing.
Oh my God, what did Chase say? Oh,
and you to listen, because if there is any way to truly wrap up into words what this song is, this is it. So I need y'all to focus. I need you to listen. Sis, if you need your tissue, gotta be tissue. But I think throughout this conversation, you guys have realized how special this track is. But I think this does a good job at encompassing overall. So our boy Chase says energy. Somehow Blue Note discovered a way to literally intertwine rhythm in the manifestation of actual energy when she made this song. Just look around the venue or the stage or anywhere Blue Note may perform this song. Watch as multiple people sink their eyes closed and submerge themselves in a rhythmic flow along with Blue. Watch as multiple people are chanting back her lyrics. Most importantly, watch how Blue Note releases her passion on this track during live performances. Energy was meant to be uplifting for herself, but little did she know that this song and her self-made energy has uplifted the better half of this community. We thank you for your music, Blue. We thank you for being you.
Oh, y'all. So y'all just got me on the live to cry tonight. What's going on?
I love you, sis. I appreciate
That's what y'all came to do. Do you want to close up?
I love you. Moon and back, sis. I appreciate you for everything and anything and all the things that you're going to continue to do. You know, the things that you've done for this community just with your music alone, for the support you've given me through my HIV advocacy, my financial literacy, like everything. Like I hope that what you give to people, you feel that you're given in return, because you truly deserve it. And if there was ever a person deserving of their flowers while they are here, it is you, my sis. So drop some flames in the chat, drop some hearts. I'm gonna play this track one more time. Hopefully I don't get muted again, because we don't got time for that.
Real quick plug before I go. I gotta give a shout out to my girls Carmen with Lil Shooter Creations. That's my latest Lil T. Messy ain't my ministry, because
hey,
get down like that. I had to make sure I plugged that. I wasn't sure if y'all could see it the whole time, but if
we could go just like you.
Yeah, Lil Shooter Creations. Yeah, my whole setup for the night just got thrown off, but we here now.
It's okay.
But that too makes all of my custom Blue Note tees. So if you were ever to either have already purchased one or ever interested in purchasing one, Lil Shooter Creations is who does that for me. So I had to make sure to plug my girl.
And your video was not an issue this whole time. It was great.
Look at God. Oh, thank you guys so much for all of your support. Everybody in the comments, thank you so much. Everybody that supports me in and outside of this, thank you so much.
All right.
Listen, I'm going to get you. I can't even say it on here because I don't have the words, but you know me, a book is coming.
Yes.
Okay, a book-long post will be coming, because I got the appropriate way to say thank you for this night. So I appreciate you, sis. And the hair is everything, and you are a very good talk show host, by the way. I think you can really keep doing this. I hope you do.
We'll see what 2022 brings.
Manifestation.
Hey, But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for rocking with us this last hour. I really hope that you were able to take away some value from this conversation. Siobhan, didn't nobody ask you what you told?
But I like how Siobhan is backing up what she said. Okay, I got you, girl. Back that thing. She's like,
But
I told her. That's how that read.
okay, both of my sis getting on me now. But
Amen.
I truly hope that not only did you get some insight into who we are, you know, our goofy, bubbly selves, but just some insight on the deeper connection and the depth of what we have to offer. So I'm gonna close us out with Energy. And again, if you haven't heard this song, please go listen to it, go download it, go save it. Support my girl because you heard it here live for the first time. Blue's going to the top. So make sure that you rock with her now because she's not going to forget you.
That is a fact.
Thank you guys. Oh, what happened? Oh, I don't. They got to add. We got 3, 2, and skip ad. Come on.
Found out some things I needed just to learn from me. See, there done been some change, and I know it's not what you
Expected to see. I made some choices about my life.
Go ahead.
It's going in and out. I can't hear it. I don't know if they're messing up the music. It's going in and out. You can hear it and then you can't. Gone is the girl that would take that from me. Gone is the girl that forsake facts. I'm a queen. Gone is the girl that'll admit that I ain't she. Ain't for the rope a dope or woke the growth of her and me. I can't hear it. It's time to see. I'm digging inside to reveal my truth. Got rid of my pride, it only scarred my youth. Got hits in my vibe, I think I found my groove. I ain't got nothing to lose, not even nothing to prove. I'm only trying to move with grace. Steady pace, I'm trying to win this race. Progression is a must, can't get complacent. Said I won't be out here chasing pavements. Only plan for self is elevation.
All right, sis. Save your voice for tonight. You got money to make. Guys, thank you so much for joining this. I appreciate you all, sis.
Y'all.
I love you. Have an amazing event tonight. Win that money, take home that W.
And she already claimed it, Jesus. We got to take that. Everybody else, I love y'all, but you got bills to pay.
We'll catch you next one. Peace out, guys.
Thank you so much. Great job. Great job. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed night, blessed week.
Good night.